The first 9 of the 10 commandments are about actions, either commanding us to do something, such as keeping Sabbath and honoring our elders, or commanding us not to do certain things. Don't murder, don't steal, don't make idols, and so forth. The 10th and final commandment stands out in commanding us not even to think a certain way. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. The last of the 10 commandments is a bit longer than the ones immediately before it, and it is stated in a little different order in Exodus and in Deuteronomy, but I won't dwell on that difference. You can read them for yourselves. In Exodus, the commandment is, "You shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or male or female slave, or ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor." The difference in Deuteronomy is that it reverses the order of your neighbor's house and your neighbor's wife, but the meaning is really the same either way. And let us simply agree that in the ancient world, where a man's wife was part of what could be called his property, is not the way the world works today, and for good reason. Women are no one's property. I could focus on that issue, but I think I prefer to give that topic fuller treatment another time. And so, with that issue set aside for the time being, let's talk about what it means to covet. The word translated covet here can and is translated in different ways in different contexts. Sometimes it's clear that the word has a very positive connotation in the Old Testament, while other times, such as this commandment, it is clearly something wrong. The word itself has the basic meaning to desire. There are plenty of passages in the Old Testament that use the term in very positive ways. For example, Psalm 19 speaks of the law itself, ironically enough, as more to be desired than gold, even much fine gold. But more often, desire has the connotation of lust or wrongful desire. So, what is it about desire or covetousness that is so wrong that even the impulse to desire what someone else has is forbidden in the 10 Commandments themselves? Well, in the first place, the ancient Hebrews understood very well that evil acts begin as evil thoughts, which then develop into evil intentions. Without some way to restrain one's actions, desire for what someone else has can turn into a variety of directions, none of which are very good. Theft and kidnapping come quickly to mind. But even if someone doesn't act rashly, the covetousness can turn to jealousy, which inevitably turns neighbor against neighbor. Think of it this way. If I covet what you have, lust after your good fortune, I can begin to resent you. And once I begin to resent you, I begin to treat you differently. You would soon notice my behavior, and you'd soon figure out that I want what you have. And you'd begin to avoiding me, so that I would have no opportunity to take what you have. But wait a minute, you say. If I want what you have, what's wrong with simply going out and purchasing the same thing for myself? Well, that's actually an insightful question, for which there is actually a good answer. The economy in the ancient world, including Israel, worked differently from our modern market economy. We often don't realize it, but the modern idea of a market economy is a relatively recent invention in human history. In a market economy, the amount of wealth that can and does exist increases, meaning there is more to go around. But in the ancient world, wealth was understood to be static. That is, there was only so much of it to go around. In many cases, I couldn't just go out and buy what you have. If you had more than I have, there wasn't much I could do about it, except conspire to steal it. So you can see, covetousness was a real threat to life in community. And a community like Israel, called to be a holy community set apart for God's purposes, needed to resist at all cost those things that tended to break the bonds of community. That's why covetousness is so important. Tomorrow, we'll finish our discussion of the Ten Commandments with the portion of the summary of the law we say most every week that encapsulates the commandments about life and community. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.